So in this video, we're going to be talking about checking the roundhouse kick, a couple of different ways of checking a roundhouse kick. Because some people say about pointing your toes up, some people say point your toes down, where do you keep your arms. We're going to cover all that in the video, and different ways where to apply your feet afterwards, after you've checked the kick. So stay tuned and make sure you watch the whole video. What's up, fans? My name's Butler. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Right, so I'll quickly just demonstrate how you check the kick properly. So if Harry goes to throw the kick at me, that's how you check. Right, what you want to do with that, you want to lift, if you're in a Thai boxing stance, sorry, if you're in a karate stance, that's a bit of a different story. If you're in a karate stance like that and Harry goes to throw the kick, there's no way we'll be able to lift that leg up and round fast enough to block the check. So I will be making another video about that. But just for argument's sake, for MMA, you're in a more of a Thai boxing stance, you definitely want to use that check because your hips are more square on. So how you check the kick? Make sure your elbows are in tight. You want to keep your arm on the inside and not on the outside when you lift your leg. So when you lift your leg, you want your arm on the inside. You don't want it on the outside because if they hit your arm, they could end up breaking your arm. You don't want it checked like that. The reason why is if you do that and you're panicking in the fight and you quickly go bang, you're going to literally elbow your own leg and it's going to hurt, give yourself dead legs. You don't really want to do that. So you want to keep that elbow on the inside. You want to lift this leg, turn it out ever so slightly. Now, this is why I wanted to make this video. When I was training in Thailand, I got taught two different things. And one of them was to keep your toes pointed up when you check, and one of them was to keep your toes pointed down. Now, neither of them are, both of them are right because you're still checking and blocking the kick. But what I've noticed is there's different things you can do off of literally just having your toes pointed up, sorry, your toes pointed up or your toes pointed down. Right, so with the toes pointed up, one thing you can do is if Harry goes to check for a kick slowly, if you throw it and then hold it on, when you basically do that, you can almost flick their leg away with using your toes. So if you go to it, you can almost flick their leg away. So do it again. You can almost flick that leg away. And then once you've done that, obviously that's when you can come up, that's when you can come up and strike yourself or whatever. So if you go to do it again, you strike, flick it away, I can come up with my own counter. Now, when you have your toes pointed up, you're really keeping your legs stiff. So that's when you're really blocking it, and there's quite a lot of impact there because you're staying stiff and strong. But if you do that over a course of a fight and there's quite a few kicks exchanging, then it's going to give your shins a bit of damage. So what you can do instead is have a bit more of a limp leg to say, point your toes down. Now if you go to kick me again, and you sort of kick right through, I'm having that limp leg, and what happens is the foot almost slides down off of it. And it ain't going to hurt as much as if you do it one more time, as if I'm really stiff, like that. So do it one more time. That's what I was on about when I was saying about flicking the leg away. You can trick the leg, you can almost flick it out of the way to throw your own other kick. But if you don't want to do that because your shins are hurting, you can just do it with more of a, do it one more time, more of a soft kick. More of a soft, that's it. So you're just being more, it's taking the impact, but your foot's more soft. Now don't get me wrong, you can get people who might go a bit lower and try and kick all the way through if you're doing that. So that is one thing you've got to be wary about. But if your shin's already damaged and they're hurting, you still don't want to take the kick on the fight, but you want to check it. That's one way of doing it, to keep that leg a little bit softer rather than keeping it up and solid. Now, The other thing I want to talk about is the placement of your foot after the kick. If Harry goes for a kick at me, I can be strong and I can place it in front afterwards and then come up with a knee, come forward with a strike, come forward with whatever. But what I can also do is use Harry's momentum of his power to push me back a little bit and step backwards. So if Harry goes to block a kick, I block, I step back. But what I can do is use that bounce and stepping back to spring back in with my own kick. So if you go for a kick again, I block, come back down, boom. I can find he's done the correct thing by blocking, but I can find my own kick back. I can use that spring momentum, throw my own kick, throw my own knee, or push in with a punch. So just go and do it again. So I push in, come back, and then I can step in, punch, kick, knee, whatever. So you don't always have to check down in front. You can check, come back, throw your kick. You can always throw it one more time, check, come back, and then if they're coming forward, you've got this lead leg up already, so you can kick them away. There's different ways of obviously of coming off the check, different strikes and different ways of landing your feet. So don't always think you have to check and land your feet in front. Obviously you can do, but you can also check and land it behind, especially if you're comfortable in fighting in your other stance. If you're not as comfortable, then maybe make sure you check it in first, or check, step, and then step back. If you do get pushed, your balance off balance a bit and push back. Now, if Harry goes to kick off the lead leg, you can still check up like that, across. You can do cross checking, or you can just check off the rear leg. So if you go to do it again, you can check off the rear leg. People say you shouldn't really cross check. I don't mind cross checking because again you can cross check, land your foot here and then step forward and come in with a side kick. You can cross check, land back and then kick again. There's all different ways and methods of doing it. The best way how to do this is literally just by doing a little bit of kick sparring. So as you're moving about, you're still a little bit of kick sparring, just keep it nice and light. So if we do just a little bit, so good, so we keep it nice and light, just moving around. Good, well done. So you've done a cross check and you've done it fine. Right, I just noticed what Harry done there, which again, it isn't wrong. When I was saying that about the start, about checking, about keeping your hands up, one thing what some people like to do, if you go for a kick, is off that leg, they like to check and push away. So do it again, so they check, they push with that arm. Again, it's not a wrong way of doing it if you see people doing that in the gym. The one thing I would say maybe is just don't always be in the habit of that, because you can leave yourself really wide open there. But if you notice your opponent really close on top of you and you go to throw that kick, you can then push them away to then come in with your counter kick. So anyway, I think that's pretty much covered all the different ways of checking kicks. Obviously, this channel is mainly about MMA, so there are so many different ways of, because MMA fighters, like I said earlier, some of them have this sort of stance, some of them use a lot of footwork, so it's a lot harder to check kicks. But if you're more of a Thai style and you're a bit more of a plodder, it's a perfect weapon what you've got to use to check kicks. And as a quick little added bonus, one thing I really like to do off the check, so if I go for a kick, check, come in, shoot in, boom, for the takedown. So I'll show it one more time, checking, coming in for that takedown, using that momentum of checking and stepping in forward and shooting in with that penetration shot. Yeah, like I was saying, so you check and use that momentum to come down, because they've balanced off of landing off the kick, they're not, the idea is, like you were saying about blocking it, the idea is they're not going to have time, because if you throw that kick and I block, and something like that, you might not have time to step back or to be able to spoil it. It does take a bit of time doing that one, but definitely give that one a practice. Anyway, thanks for watching, and like I said, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section as well if you'd like me to make a video on anything else.